Wherever you're going, whatever you're looking for, it's a good idea to have a map. And if you want to be found, it's even more important to be on a map. This is Cadet Field, a place you've never heard of. At some point, it became known as Michiana Regional Airport. But the fictional place called Michiana can't be found on a map. And business people from places like California, Texas, and Connecticut assumed there was no airport. So they often flew to Chicago, Detroit, or Indianapolis instead, stayed in their hotels, rented their cars, and then drove to one of the 12 cities or towns in the greater South Bend region the next day. The right name is critical. Ours wasn't even on a map. We conducted several behavioral studies that measure the actual interest of names in our region across the country and around the world. Using Google search data to plot the real-world interest index for the term Michiana, we see what appears to be good interest in the term. That is, until we see that there are no searches conducted anywhere in the world beyond a 35-mile radius of downtown South Bend or downtown Mishawaka. When we add the term Mishawaka, it pushes the relative curve for Michiana down by comparison. People search for the term Mishawaka from across the nation. And this is why the airport should not be called the St. Joseph County Airport. St. Joseph County performs even more poorly than the fictitious place called Michiana. There's no sugarcoating it. That's bad news for the Chamber of Commerce of St. Joseph County. If we're trying to get people and companies to connect with us and then locate here, we couldn't have picked a worse name. Yet here we are, after nearly a decade of preparation, at an inflection point in our county's history. Major reinvestment in our urban cores is actually happening. Leaders from private, public, and academic institutions are working together across invisible borders for the first time in history. We're at the highest employment rate in the history of this county, and we know where we're going. What should the chamber do? When we look at the data, the name that people search more often, the only one that leaps out of North America and people search for in Europe, Asia, and the Pacific Rim, likely due in large part due to it being the home for the University of Notre Dame, is South Bend, demonstrating significantly more pull as a lead-generating source for every city and town in St. Joseph County than any other name on the map. If we're doing our job for every single man, woman, and child in the county, we need to connect the dots. The chamber needs to adopt the name that more people across the globe already know, already search for. The data is clear. The St. Joseph County Chamber of Commerce needs to be known across the globe as the South Bend Regional Chamber of Commerce to attract more business, more jobs for every city and town in the entire county. We've come a long way over the last decade. Now we know where we're going. The momentum's palpable. History will unfold before us. 268,000 men, women, and children in 12 cities and towns, working in unison across an entire region for the first time in history. We've never been this far before. The South Bend Regional Chamber of Commerce.